What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Speaking of entertainment, today on the program, a returning customer. Yay, I like when the people return. Craig C.C. Brooks is back in the house. You know that man from Fort St. John, British Columbia, and he also spends a lot of time in Nashville, Tennessee. So north and south of the border, the man is multinational, international, some would say, with his music. Oh, man, I encourage you. If you want, just go ahead and check out CC Brooks Country, ccbrooks.country.com, and find out more about CC Brooks, man. That he's a cool dude. He really is. And I look forward to hearing more about what's going on now in the next few minutes. So stick around. Now it's ccbrooks.country. Huh. Not even a .com on there. Not even a .cc. Not even a .anything. That's weird. That's a weird website. All right. This week's shows, let's see. I have 2 public shows. Count them. 2 public shows. It's my usual Friday night gig, Rented Lips. My usual Friday night gig at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. The Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. Yes, I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. Come on out to the Rab in Conway, Arkansas on a Friday night, and you'll probably see me standing right there behind the DJ booth on the digital wheels of steel, playing the music for the people. It's a video dance party, karaoke jam, full bar, kitchen's open. They got some good food. The more you eat, the more you can drink. It's not me, it's science. Don't look that up. Trust me. Eat and then drink and then be merry or be whoever you are. And they got 10 diamond style pool tables. In fact, on Friday nights, they have a pool tournament. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, check out the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Friday night, RAB. From 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM is the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam with yours truly. Hey, be there. And then on Saturday, since the summer is beginning, I'll be at the Cool Pool Sports Grill on Saturday night in Fairfield Bay from 8 p.m. until I think about 12 midnight. Usually it ends, about midnight. So about 4 hours. Video dance party, karaoke jam, drinks. They got food. There's a pool. So if people want to jump in the pool, I think that's okay too. As long as you don't get your wet self next to my equipment. All right. But it's always a good time at the Fairfield Bay Cool Pool Sports Grill. Oh my goodness. The first year they had me inside the sports grill and the sound was just so big. I had it turned down, so we had to keep it real low inside the building. So they said the next year when I was there, and I've been doing it at least twice, maybe 3 times a year, because I'll do it beginning of summer, end of summer, and now New Year's Eve. I did New Year's Eve at the at Fairfield Bay with the same people over at the bowling alley, and that was fantastic. So it's always a good time in Fairfield Bay. So beginning of the summer, end of the summer, and probably New Year's Eve at the Cool Pool Sports Grill this Saturday night. Come check it out. Memorial Day weekend. Good times. And, bring everybody. Bring all your friends. I think it's 21 and over, all right, because we're drinking. It's an adult night from 8 p.m. until 12. But until then, until 8 p.m. or until 7, you can have the kids out there at the pool having a good time at Cool Pool. So come early and then send the kids off and then come party with me on Saturday night. Well, that's it for the intro. Let's get into it with Craig C.C. Brooks. So excited to learn what's going on now in the world of C.C. Brooks. I got him on Skype, so if you're listening to the audio version, check out the video on my YouTube page, youtube.com/user/KeysDan. Skyping C.C. Brooks now. Oh, man, look at Craig C.C. Brooks on my screen once again, right on time, looking real good, looking real sharp in another hat. Last time we talked, you were in a hat. Are you a hat man?
I've got a couple of serious problems, and that's one of them. Yeah.
Hat man do. In fact, you know, I was discussing hats the other day when, I've looked at hats. I've owned hats. Hats are usually an impulse buy, and they're usually a mistake in my experience, because I don't wear hats. Kind of like JFK. I guess that might be the only similarity that I have to the late great JFK. But he never wore hats, and he was rarely seen with one. In fact, there's only one photograph with John F. Kennedy holding a hat. He wasn't wearing it; he was holding it. I don't know. He's not a hat man.
By comparison, Winston Churchill almost always wore one, and he was pretty good at his job too. So, I think if you ever get a chance and you really, I love hats. I've been buying hats my whole life. If my office wasn't basically a crime scene. I'm a pretty messy guy. I do it on purpose. I like that old style messy office thing, but I would show you I have a closet full of hats.
Well, I'm looking on the screen. For those people that are listening to the audio version, check out the video, because there's a bucket hat looking like Gilligan back there, and there's a little bit of clutter on the in the background, but it's not. I wouldn't call it clutter.
Stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it clutter. I'd call it stuff of interest, topics of discussion. I guess discussion starters or conversation starters. You have a whole room full of them, and the part that I can't see is probably so much more than the part that I can see. You got a picture of four people there. You got some cups, guitars. There's a hat on top of your guitar, so even your guitar is wearing a hat.
You can see that, yeah. And all those paintings behind me are actually my grandmother was an oil painter when when she passed away, they went to my mom, and when my mom passed away, I put them in my office. So yeah, this is a little bit of a museum. My kids, my drawers are full of all sorts of stuff that my father had. Original matchbooks from old Vegas hotels that don't exist anymore, and some very interesting Super 8 film footage that I found. And so when I pass away, they're going to have a heck of a good time in here.
Well, okay. It's nice to have history. And I know that we talked a little bit about my roots like a radish, my wife's roots like an oak tree, to where you can trace your roots in Fort St. John, British Columbia, way, way back. Hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Your family's a fixture there. Now, speaking of your children, how are Summer and Summer's brother? I did look up that band. Man, that was like the last thing you told me to do. And they got some music out there. It's avant-garde. I didn't see where they'd recorded any of it or put anything out. Maybe I didn't get that far, but I did see some live stuff.
They're definitely, they finished Connor, which is my son. That's the name of his solo project, Summer's brother. But he recorded this song, which was Misinformation, fabulous track. He had the guy that mixed Hotel California do the final mix on it, and just happened to know him. I met him coincidentally. Fantastic track, and they're rocking it out of the park. I'm so proud of what he's up to, and he's broke musician doing what he loves. I'm very envious.
All right. Well, hopefully my loyal listener can get to the Cobalt. I guess that's where they're playing quite a bit. But
they go there. Yeah. You are well read, my friend.
Well, it's easy enough with this social media thing. My goodness, it's easy to find out about people. I think that's the thing is it used to, whenever you were hiring somebody for a job, for perhaps your energy job that we talked about in the last podcast. And for those that haven't listened to the last one, I encourage you, go check out the last one because it goes in depth on where C.C. Brooks started and got his music career launched. Okay, but today we're actually going to talk about things that are happening now, things that are happening, in the future, in the near future, things that happened only a few short days ago. You released a few songs. I mean, I know that I've named this podcast "The Bridges I Burned" because out of the 3 songs, I think that's the one that touches my heart so much, man. Because you have "Send Me a Song," which is you calling out to the muses, calling out to a higher power. Give me something. Give me something that I could write down, that I could sing for the people. And then "Springtime," it's in Nashville. It's a love letter to the shows that you've played in Nashville. But "Burning Bridges," man, this is something you try not to do. You try to be polite to everyone. You cannot please everyone all of the time. There's going to be a few people that don't like you. And those bridges, hey, maybe you got to maybe not even burn them, just blow them up and never even look back. But tell me about "Bridges I Burned," starting off while we're here.
Well, this one's been in the hopper a while. I think it's about a 2-year-old song at least. And I've done other recordings, but I was very protective of this one because I want to make sure the right person was going to record it because it is that type of song. The storyline is very similar to most of the things that I write. It's about flawed people, and because we all are. Some and most of us, in the most beautiful way, we just don't realize it. So I think that this song speaks to someone's wisdom and understanding where they ended up in the world and why. And there's nobody that can say they haven't gone a place they can't go back to. Everybody's got that in their lives and regret. But I think this person, and I think it's slightly autobiographical, but not in the sense of, I haven't spent half my life hungover and half my life getting there. More like maybe quarter and 75. I don't know, but it's certainly not that high a number. And this guy just says, "Look, this is who I am. I admit it, but this is where I'm at. So don't worry. This is where I'm going to be." And everybody reaches that some sort of stage in their life. So I think that he's a hero. And he's someone that reminds us that, look at this, if this dipstick can come to terms with who he's become and what he's got in store, I think probably everybody should.
Well, that's pretty philosophical. Know thyself. I don't remember who that saying is attributed to, but it's a simple 2-word phrase: to know yourself, know your limitations, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, know how you can, all right, I guess everyone can learn a certain thing. If I wanted to learn guitar, if I wanted to learn drums, if I wanted to learn these skills that you have, I could probably do it, but I have never taken the time to do so. But burning bridges, maybe. I mean, I talk into microphones all the time, and sometimes the things that I think, my mouth is faster than my brain, or my brain, whatever comes to thought sometimes just goes right out of my mouth into a microphone in front of hundreds, maybe thousands of people, sometimes even more than that, hundreds of thousands of people if I'm on the radio in Miami. Oh, yeah. Did I just say that out loud? The phones are going to light up any second. Ring, 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 ring. Yeah. I've done it. I mean, are there places you can't go? Is there a Springfield or even a Walmart, something that you're just not allowed back there, Mr. C.C. Brooks? Or have the statutes of limitations not come about yet?
No, well, I would certainly say, I mean, there's some people in my life that probably don't want to see me anymore. And I don't know if they feel me any ill will, but I earned those. I was not the gracious, self-aware, semi-Buddhist that you see today. There was a time where I was indulgent, overindulgent, and very narcissistic, and I was channeling all my energies to making sure I got everything I possibly could out of every day and every situation, because I was starving, I was hungry, I was eager, and all those things create a personality. And there was a time I remember when I was at the depths of my musical endeavors, where I was a gypsy. I lived out of a suitcase. I was loyal to no one, and would possibly do questionable things if I could get my laundry done. So and that's just the process you have to go to when you get down that far, and you're struggling. Making $5 a day for food. Living off the fruit and the vegetables in the bar during the day, maraschino cherries, because you don't have any money, and trying desperately to get people to pay attention to your music, and feeling like you're running out of time. If I only knew how much time I had, I probably wouldn't have been quite so desperate back then.
Well, in your 20s, you feel like 30 is old. I think that's part of a country song. I still remember when 30 was old. You feel like you want to get everything done right now. Right now. Got to have it right now. And you're going to step on people on the way up. In your 20s, there's a reason it's called reckless youth, is you're trying things. You're pushing boundaries. You're trying, hopefully, you survive it. And if I'm talking to you right now, I don't think you're a ghost, but you obviously survived it. You got through it. Whether it was with a little help from your friends or you got through it on your own. Some people can pull themselves up by their bootstraps, or some people need a little bit of help. Just talk to somebody, and my loyal listener, if you're contemplating anything, if you're thinking about hurting yourself or somebody, talk to somebody. Hey, call me. My number's right there. You can call me. If I don't pick up the phone, leave a message and I'll call you back. But now that you're seasoned, you've been through it, you're helping other people as well, including your children, including your, you've raised kids that seem to be fine, upstanding citizens of the world. And that says a lot about you and your personality. You've come through it, and now you're responsible for other people.
Yeah, who saw that coming? I really just, my kids are definitely a reflection of me and their characters. She's just back home right now, working in our hometown, and she's just such a treat to be friends with somebody like that you built. It's really neat. And of course, my son Connor, he's busting his butt in Vancouver, and his work ethic and everything that he's doing. Yeah, I'm absolutely positive my wife did a fabulous job raising the kids.
Well, daddies traditionally, okay, and I know there's all kinds of families, but daddies traditionally go out, work, and make the money, whether it's got to be a hustle. You might have 1, 2, 3, 7 jobs, and maybe each one of those clubs you can count as a different job, or each one of those studio sessions could be a different job. I mean, you had the energy job, that, bringing energy to the masses, all of North America, as far as I know, being in that part of the world.
Still participating in that.
Oh, all right. I thought that was long gone, but you're still a part of the energy facility personnel.
Well, I'm actually working now with a First Nations community that's very close to about an hour outside of my hometown, and I'm working with one of the companies that they own. Halfway River Ventures. So I'm managing that now for them, and just a marvelous opportunity to work with that community and hopefully bring prosperity back to it. So it's It's got a lot of meaning in my life, and certainly makes me want to get up in the morning and do what I do. So very grateful for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay. Now I can pick your brain a little bit about energy. Are there new energies coming out? Are there more windmills and solar panels and renewable energies? Or have you been a part of any of that?
No, I'm in the demonized version of it. I'm in the oil and gas industry, the good old fashioned gas that keeps everybody warm in the winter, and the gas that will help your cars run at 50 below.
Yeah.
And I think there's a role for all of this, definitely. But the key thing that our energy sector is doing in British Columbia, especially because we're a very green province, is that the extraction of these resources is being done in the most ethical and most environmentally conscious way possible. Really working on zero impact solutions. Not to say that when you go and do what you do, when you have to go out and extract gas from the ground, there is an impact. But now the reclamation and the standards for us to ensure that we back out of that property and leave it the way it was is very high, and we do an amazing job at it. So unfortunately, we're in a remote area, and we're not. If this was happening in New York City, I'm sure it'd be an international event. But it is happening, and that evolution is growing just as fast as renewable energies, which are also a great idea in so many applications, but just not in all.
Oh, for sure. And, me, I'm here in Arkansas now, and pretty close to me is Greenbrier, Arkansas. And I know they had a problem with fracking. I guess they were doing it not completely right, and they were having some kind of earthquakes over there. But, hey, that's part of the business. That's part of the deal, is if you're going to be messing with the ground, it's going to start shaking a little bit.
Well, and what's different about the U.S. formations is they are much what they call shallow gas. And in the North America where we are in what is called the Duvernay formation, this is miles and miles and miles into the ground. This creates a much safer environment and practically alleviates the possibility of fracturing to that level. I've heard the stories of coming up in rivers in Texas, coming up in the ground in a backyard of somebody's house. That does not occur in our part of the world. It's so far down that it's only coming out if we attach a nozzle to it and put it through a pipe and send it to you guys. So.
Hey, the science of it is amazing, CC Brooks. I mean, I know that there's people, in the industry have to be very thoughtful and very educated and, tried and true. They're trial and error. And through the error, I heard this today, we're talking about the moon missions and the lunar landings and, last year India going and getting to the South Pole of the moon, I guess. But and then Russia at the very same time crash landing a rocket into the moon. The errors, the mistakes is what we learn from, and what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. I hope. I've heard that before, but hey,
or we could just take all that money and feed a bunch more people. But I mean,
that is the other idea. Is space okay? That is part of that argument. Is space exploration worth it, or should we take those resources and feed people? Or do we have enough resources to where we could feed all the people and go into space? Okay, well, as long as we weren't so greedy.
There's a lot of places I want to go. I'd love to go, and one of the lovely things I've always on my bucket list is I want to go to the Congo and sit with the gorillas before they're gone, because I have a strange feeling that they are. They're not long for this earth, unfortunately. I have a theory that once the gorillas die, that we're next, as being so close to them. I've never seen them in the wild. I unfortunately only had the pleasure of seeing them in what I consider a reasonable zoo, I suppose. But it's something I really want to do. But, and it would be great. All I'd have to do is pull out go borrow the money. But, I've got I might need a new roof on my house, or my wife's tires on my vehicle need changing for the winter. So, I got to do those things first, and I just don't understand why that kind of internal philosophy that we have to have as individuals wouldn't extend to us as a group. Just going, hey, look, I would love to do all this stuff. It would be great. It'd be fun. It's exciting. Who wouldn't love to, find a Martian or whatever? But when you've got so much going on that's right at home, it's so bad, and it's happening to people. It's not happening to. It's people are experiencing this poverty, this inability to own a home. I just go, I don't know. I just kind of feel like that's where the money should be going. But that's why maybe I'll never be president or prime minister or czar or any of those things.
Yeah, you're talking about, my goodness, the government running their business like they have unlimited money, and they do. I guess through our Constitution, they're allowed to print the money. I think they recently flipped a platinum coin worth $1 trillion into the pot, and they magically said, "Oh, we got another $1 trillion now." So, voila, abracadabra.
Well, it's very much like one of my ex-girlfriends. She was under the impression, as long as there were still checks in the checkbook, that there was money, and and I'm not kidding. They actually thought that.
Yeah, that's how when those cards first came out when I was a kid, 1986. The debit cards that for your bank first came out, and I was just out of high school, just getting into the world. I mean, I'd had a couple of jobs here and there, but I was $10 into that machine, $10 until I was overdrawn. Oh no, you don't have no more $10. In fact, you owe us $30. How am I going to owe you $30? I don't even have any money. How do you expect me to pay the $30? Well, if I was the government, I'd say, boom, magic. There's $30 in there all of a sudden.
Well, what's so funny is my son, starving musician as he is, approached me a little while ago, and his bank had lent him an exorbitant amount of money. And he was struggling to pay it back, because they lent him too much. It wasn't his fault. He needed money, and they said, you can have it. And it's crazy how deep somebody will let you go now before they pull the pin. And then when you do, for some of these people, at the interest rates and the way it's structured, and especially if you go outside of traditional banking and get yourself into any of these high interest loan legal loan sharkers, you're never getting out. You're never getting out.
Yeah, as soon as I signed up for college, they sent me a bunch of credit cards. My mom, thankfully, she was smart enough to say, cut those things up right now. Don't use those things. Don't use that JCPenney card. Don't use that. Maybe use the gas card so you could build up your credit, and that helped a little bit. And, as long as you pay it every month, use one card. Pay it off at the end of the month. Every month, you'll build up some credit, get some points so you can buy a car and then buy a house. And that's smart. But to keep a balance on a 19% interest rate card, oh my gosh! Yay capitalism! Yay.
Well, and I mean, I look at my kids and I don't know. I can't guarantee that both of them will ever be able to afford a house. Now they're going to get one when Mom and I die, so that's something. But my sister has children that live in Vancouver, British Columbia, and it's $2,500 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment, and a house that they would condemn and tear down is worth $1 million. There isn't a house in that city that is under $1 million. It's just not possible anymore. So the world is changing for sure. I'm excited to see as much of it as I can while I'm still relevant. But it certainly gets me to thinking the important things that I have to focus on is getting a smaller life with my wife, my children, my music, whatever sort of ideas I have in my head, and just my one of my idols, which is Lucas Nelson from Lucas Nelson, The Promise of the Real. He's Willie's son, and he's got this song called "Turn Off the News and Build a Garden." And 2 years ago, I think it was released. We now have this huge garden in our backyard, and we do not watch the TV at all, and it has changed our lives for the better. So, I mean, there's lots of ways that we can communicate with people like yourself. Shows like this, where it's, you see someone that's supporting music like you do, you want to be a part of that. That's great. There isn't some huge agenda behind it. It just, I think the key to the whole thing is so much that we can't do anything about. And so we just get into, make your own little world, and be humble and kind, and have simple aspirations. And it's certainly doing wonders for my blood pressure.
Yeah, Lucas Nelson's been making the rounds on podcasts and radio shows, and I've been listening to him talk, and it sounds like he's had a good upbringing. I wonder who his daddy is, but I think he's done well, and he's got a good philosophy in life, and you can do a lot worse than to emulate him and what he's doing. But man, I worry about the future. I don't just worry about the future. I worry about right now myself. I've been the sole provider for my family of 3 for the past 18 years, and we live simply, but it's been a struggle at many times, and we would not have the place that we live. We finally got ourselves a house and a little piece of property because her dad practically gave us the property, and then we bought the house to put it on that property. It just, we could not have done it without him. And I don't see how the next generation, with the widening of salaries as opposed to the cost of living, my day job just said, we're not going to be paying overtime on the daily. We're going to be paying overtime for 40 hours plus. If you go over 40 hours in a week, that's fine. But they used to pay if you went over 8 hours in a day, whatever that was, would have been overtime. So they've nixed that part. So instead of paying us more money, they're paying us less. Thankfully, I got the night job.
I'd check out an employment lawyer on that one, because I know where I live, that is completely unacceptable. But you're absolutely right. How do you inspire? I mean, I'm fortunate. My daughter, Summer, she's very motivated. She's a very hard worker. She has a good job. She still can't live by herself and grow any sort of thing. She's got a really great guy now, and they're talking about maybe moving in together. But it's the only way it's going to work. Now, how do you, as a parent sitting in a city like Vancouver, any city where houses are in school, you work hard, then you go to college, you get in debt, and you work even harder. And then when you get out there and you get to work, someday you'll be able to, what? You're never going to own that house. It doesn't matter what you become. I mean, I guess there's the 2% of people that somehow, had that one good day of crypto, and well, but really, how do you tell them? How do you give them a work ethic or a dream when it's not there? So people are just going, you know what? I'm going to live with mom and dad. Screw it.
That, or they're going to rent forever. Rent a small, an efficiency apartment somewhere in a not so good neighborhood and just rent forever and never own anything, never have anything for their children, for their children's children. That generational wealth, it's becoming non-existent. Man, how do we get on this conversation? I thought we were talking about songs, and this is like real life. This is what inspires the music making. This is what a storyteller such as yourself makes a song about. When you said send me a song, I think we've just been talking about a song. The world is getting harder, the money's getting shorter, and I might never own that house.
I guess I should have I should have segued this, because I think when I first started talking about it, I had some sort of pitch in mind. But you and I have done this twice now, and what I love about it is I'm absolutely awful at promoting my music. So thank you for bringing that up. But well, I'll tell you what I did do is I'm working on some new material now, because I'm heading back to Nashville in a couple of weeks, and we're going to do some writing, hopefully. And I'm not recording this time, but we're going to do some writing. So I'm building these ideas. And one of the ones I'm really happy about is a song called Go Run Wild. And it basically it just talks about a guy talking to his son saying, it looks like you're giving up, or you might be giving up on what you wanted to do because it seems like it's impossible. And, you got to get with it. You got to settle down and make something of yourself. And the premise of it is just, no, go run wild. Whatever it is, I'm so proud of my son, and whatever he has to do in his afterlife, because he didn't go off and get a designation as a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. I have no regrets about that. I know he's got a good work ethic. I'm almost twice his age, and I'm still pursuing my music with as much enthusiasm, more enthusiasm, and I continue to improve because I love doing it. So I tell people, pursue your bliss until just pursue your bliss. It's the best idea.
Well, one of the things that my loyal listener knows about this radio show that I do is there's no music on it. I'm talking to lots and lots of musicians amongst other people, and I don't have them play music. So I do want to know your thoughts on life. I do want to know what you're thinking about the world and the future that we've left for our children, or that we're leaving for our children. So the man behind the music is as important to me as the music itself, because you're authentic. You're a person that's living in this world, trying to get by, trying to be responsible for 3 other people, including your wife. I don't even know if she works outside the house or brings in an additional income. I think I saw something about what does she do? Houses or something?
She's done she ran a daycares for years when my son was young, so she could stay home with her son. And then when my son moved into grade school, she became a teacher's aide for special needs children in his school. So once again, she could stay with her son. And then when it was junior high, I just said, honey, leave him alone. Like, he's never going to get a date if you go there. So she got into, she's got some really interesting things she does. She helps out everybody, and she takes care of all of our finances. We run some short-term rental properties, and she has to take care of all that. And she also writes cookbooks. And another thing that I love about her is she does special order crocheted blankets and sends them all around the world in any color you want. And these things are handmade, and they are heavy, and they are the most wonderful thing that you can put on top of you to get a good night's sleep. So she's a woman of so many talents. The only thing so that I didn't have to share it with her, and I appreciate her generosity.
Wait, that last part, what was it? The only thing what?
I just said the only thing that she allowed me to do, she left me the lane as the singer-songwriter. So I appreciate her generosity, or else I'd be fighting for her for that too. So, yeah,
because and once again, this social media is you can dig on somebody's Facebook and see that. You didn't say her name, but I could say her name, Andrea Brooks. Look her up. You said the Peace River North. The school district, but I don't see where there's the I'd like to sell some of those quilts and such, but I don't see it on her Facebook. I don't know how to get to it.
You know what? She's also not real heavy on her promotional skills. Like she's very, very modest, but she's written 2 beautiful cookbooks, and the recipes in them are no fails. Bunch of old family recipes. And then she did one that was strictly Italian cooking, so it was lots of pastas. And so she, like I say, she's just a triple threat. What can I say? I got lucky. I think it's good to have a team. It sounds like you're a real good
team. She's good with the money, and you're good with the dreams and the music. Yeah, so I guess that's just a broad stroke. I don't know. You're probably good with money as well, or are you? Do you buy too many guitars?
No, I am awful. I am awful with money. It irritates me. It's caused me to do things that I shouldn't have. I just think when you take it out of the equation, it's much easier to go through life. We bought this house 20 years ago, and it had a pool in the backyard, and I did not want a pool really, but in our marriage we compromised. So I didn't want to have a pool, and Andrea did want to have a pool, so we had a pool, and I stayed married. So always compromising. No, I'm kidding. It's been great, but someone asked me how much it costs to heat, and I said I don't know, because I think if I did, I'd fill it full of gravel. So I think the best thing, we're obviously going to have a pool. It can't be freezing cold, so it's going to have to be heated, and I guess, and Andrea will let me know. If we run out, then I guess I'll know, because the pool will start getting cold, I guess.
Well, no, I mentioned that I'm the sole income, but without my wife, she is the bill payer, and she pays things on time. And yes, we want a pool. We cannot afford a pool right now. And, it's been about 2 years I've been saving my pennies. I think maybe this time around, either this summer or the next summer, there will be a pool in that backyard. Whether it's above ground or in the ground.
If you want to move mine, you can come and get
it. And it's going to, I guess we're in a more temperate climate to where I can use the pool almost all year round. I think it only snowed twice, 2 days last year. So I think it's nice being in the South. I'm still thinking that British Columbia is a frozen tundra all year round. But I know I've been corrected many times.
No, we'll easily break 100 degrees during the summertime. And the coolest thing about living up here is that in the middle of June, I can golf from 3 a.m. till 11 at night. The sun's almost up, almost continually. So the growing season's amazing. And we'll run our pool from May to September. And then we shut her down from there. So.
Still golfing. We talked about your golfing, and I've never done it, other than putt golf. But you said that people are the realist when they're on the golf course. You cannot be a fake person for 18 holes. You can find out a whole lot about somebody. And I think I ended with a joke where you throw a 9-iron into a tree, if you miss your putt or whatever. And I don't know, you probably don't use a 9-iron on a putter.
I think before people get elected, the people that are trying to get those positions should all have to go for a round of golf, and they can televise it. And you might be surprised what you see.
Well, hey, that's another thing that I've found out about golf is you have to be an honest person, because for the most part, you're keeping your own score and nobody's really watching you. You can, the ball, if the game is you play it where it lies. I pass by a golf course almost every day, and part of the golf course goes off into the street, and I saw a guy in the middle of a roundabout with cars going all the way around him, playing his ball from the roundabout back to across the street into the hole. I said, well, okay, that's an honest player right there, because he could have easily picked that ball up and just put it closer to the hole or in a more viable spot. But it is an honest game if you're keeping your own score. I think I got about 65. No, you didn't. You got, you can keep track of each other. Do you keep track of each other, or do you keep your own score?
Oh yeah, we don't keep score. We just know if you're up 1, down 1. It's just, some guys do. Beginning of the year, you might play because you're trying to figure out where you're messing up. And I don't golf that seriously anymore. I don't have the time. If I'm going to spend 6 hours doing something, I mean, it's a lovely thing to do. It's fantastic. But I find it's expensive for the most part, not only financially, but your time. And, God, like every year my time gets more valuable, and I really want to make sure I'm doing what I want to be doing almost always. And sometimes I'll be sitting on a golf course and I'm out there for 6 hours and I'm going, man, I probably could have been doing something a little more productive than this. But it is a great getaway. And the wonderful thing about it is the nicest places in the world all have nice golf courses.
Well, so, I mean, you got to take some time out to play a game. I know I do this a lot. I work on my radio station. I work on, doing the gigs at night. But you got to take some time out. I've been playing a little bit of Fortnite, not too much, not to where these kids are playing all day, all night and streaming all day, all night. But every once in a while I get in there and do a shoot 'em up and a first person shooter. That's my downtime. And I have a lot of fun. The adrenaline rush I get when I win the game. But you touched on a nerve. You don't keep score. And that kind of led me to the kids these days who don't keep score when they're playing Little League baseball and Little League soccer. We don't keep score. We give everybody a trophy. There's no winners. There's no losers. No. What?
No, that's not the same thing.
What?
No, we keep score. Like, we're keeping track. And trust me, there's a winner and a loser every single time. And the winner is glorious and the loser is terribly beaten upon. It's I've met some people in Cuba once, and this guy was a firefighter from New York, and me and my friend were playing, and he said, I've never met two people that are more ignorant to each other on the golf course than you two. And we weren't even jabbing hard. I mean, we were just a little talk about their mothers and stuff, but nothing really heavy, nothing about incest, keep it above the line. And this guy was just like, wow, you all bad bunch of so.
Oh, but boys will be boys. I was a firefighter for 10 years, and we used to, grab butts and just, wail on each other. Sometimes we get in wrestling matches and verbal matches and verbal talk. And did you just say, oh yeah, he's my best friend? Did you just say that about his sister? Yeah, that's my best boy right there. Did you just, why do you talk to him like that? And, oh yeah, my mom was kind of, are you guys okay? Yeah, we're okay. That's my best friend right there. He's got my back when I go into a fire. He's the best at pulling people out of cars and breaking metal and stuff. So it's like, wow, okay. I had never heard people talk like that. But once you get in a camaraderie situation, when the better, I guess, male friends, the better men are. I don't know if women do it. I guess women do it as well. I've seen a movie where a girl will be like, get in, losers, and get in the car and they go off to the mall or whatever and shop for purses. Am I being chauvinistic a little bit? I don't know. Maybe
you're gonna
traditional values.
You're gonna find out fairly soon. Anybody that's listening.
Do women get in cars and go shop for purses? Yeah. Okay. Maybe men do it too. I don't know. I don't know.
Man. So do I. Not persons.
Once again, see, this is me talking into microphones.
You were talking about.
This is me talking into microphones, letting my mouth do what I'm not thinking.
That's all right, brother. Yeah, you're doing a great thing here. Like, you don't know what it means to somebody like me to get a call all the way from where you're living, and you do this all the time, and to spend some time with me and talk about my music and get it out to the people that it means the world. So I really, really appreciate that, and hopefully I can keep bringing songs that make it worth your time to put me on the air.
Well, it's nice getting good conversation with good people, getting ideas from people that are north of the border, okay, that you're in a whole different country with whole different values, and still we want the same things. You want food on your plate and roof over your head and your kids and wife taken care of, and it's just, some people do different things to get at those pursuits of their happiness. And I've been working on RadioWhat.com, trying to get that thing exactly where I want. I've made my favorite radio station, and I'm glad that CC Brooks is part of RadioWhat.com, part of that station. The station not only plays music that you could stream all the time, but it also tweets out the music that is playing, so that way you'll get a tweet whenever the song plays. Now, if you have a Twitter feed, it tries to tweet that Twitter feed, and that's my use of Twitter and how you can get that social media compounded. Because if you retweet it and somebody else retweets it, and more people learn about CC Brooks, and they'll all be able to listen to those 3 brand new songs that are out. Send Me a Song, Springtime in Nashville, and The Bridges I've Burned. I know I've talked about that Bridges I Burned. That one really hit me. But tell me about the other 2 songs. Send Me a Song. Now, did somebody actually send you a song that said "Send Me a Song" when you were praying to the Almighty, the higher powers? How did you get "Send Me a Song"?
We were in the studio, and we had done an album, and the way it worked out, you pay for these guys for the day, right? So things had gotten a little quicker than we thought. And the guy said, "Look, we still got a half a day tomorrow that we've already paid for, and we don't have any songs. So I need you guys to write 2 songs tonight." And so we went back to the hotel, and we wrote 2 songs. That wasn't one of them, but it always struck me how I consider myself a serious hobbyist. I don't write a song a day. I don't have a bunch of collaborators. I mean, when I go to Nashville, I try to do that. I try to live that life and try to pick up my game. But I'm doing what I can. But I'm not like those guys that every day they're writing 4 sessions. They do a 10 to 2, then they'll take a lunch and they'll go 3 to 7, then they'll go write with somebody else from 8 to midnight. That's a songwriter's life down there. So I'm sure the thought of that muse drying up on you would be far more disastrous than I'm feeling. I mean, I love writing, and I'm certainly, nobody, the only thing that's going to happen to me is my funeral is going to have the longest musical interlude you've ever heard. No one gets to leave till they listen to every song I wrote. But besides that, I don't think, I'm not expecting much. But it is one of those things that is just it's just such a great thing to be able to do is to write and like I said, once again, and to hear that it's playing on where you're at and it's playing in Alabama. And I have to thank the guys at Big Records, the whole team there, for getting together and getting me out there and making these songs go. So yeah, Send Me a Song was definitely that prayer that I felt those people may have said when they got up in the morning. And I also used it to start my show because it was kind of like a prayer. Then Springtime in Nashville was actually directly from that trip. When I was flying in, I was dreaming, there's always the what if. We're going to go do this album. What if we just, what if we write The Next Hotel California by mistake? You got to think something like that. And so I sing, if it was, and I couldn't help but think in my mind that any success that you get, the prize, the earth is on a balanced tilt because there's a balance in it. And so for all the prizes, there are prices. So I put myself in that situation where despite my good fortune, I was experiencing the prices.
Well, I mean, it's amazing. Some people work well under pressure, and it sounds like, hey, go to your room, write a song. You're going to be able to write a song. Famously on Saturday Night Live, there was a skit with that featured, I don't think it was Tracy Chapman, but it was like a Tracy Chapman lookalike. And hey, Tracy Chapman, write a song. I write a fast song. I got to write a fast song. I write a fast song. And that's how Fast Car came out, a fictionalized version. But if you need to write a song like a writer writes, if you want to be a writer, write. If you want to be a songwriter, write a song. Whether it's good or not, go write it. And then go try to sing it.
Amen.
Go try to put it to music. This is primarily a learning podcast. And if anything, we've learned that from you is you could write a song if you want to write a song. You can, and if you got to pray to a higher power to get that song, you might get that answer. It might happen. It's possible. All right. Well, we talked about a lot of things. My goodness, you got stuff that's out right now that just came out a few days ago. You've hinted that there's stuff on the horizon, but I know we ended the last podcast in a weird way. I said I was supposed to ask you about KISS, BTO, and drumming and singing. Anything, and I don't know what the context was for that. Do you? Go ahead.
Oh no, I know why. Yeah. Well, on my bio, it does express that that's how I started drumming, and those were the bands that I drummed to. So when I delved into the rock world for the majority of my career, still. Those were the early influences, and then it moved. But I still had this background from my mother, who taught me how to play guitar, and that when I played, I was forced by my father to play piano for 5 years. All of our kids that was part of the program. So I was very musical my whole life. So that then when the rock and roll thing ended. It was funny. The first thing I went back to, of course, I moved back to my hometown. My mom was there, and she has this beautiful Martin D28 that she's had since the year I was born, 1962. And I'd go and see her and play coffee with her. I'd have coffee and I'd play her guitar because she had arthritis and couldn't play anymore. And I just played all the old country songs that she loved, and they just kind of took. So then I went, I'm gonna buy a guitar, and I just started playing all the time. And I thought, well, I should write, because that's what I really love doing. And then the next thing was to go play them, in front of people. And you said that today, write a song, learn an instrument. It's anybody can do anything they want. It's where they prioritize it.
Correct.
It really is. It's just if it's not important enough, then it's not going to happen. It's not that we can't. It's just not a priority. Now, like I said, some things. I'm not going to be an Olympic gymnast anytime soon, or a hand model, because these things are ridiculously small.
Gorgeous.
But no, they're not. Like people always think I transplanted little people hands on myself, and it's very weird. But I just. It's where I'm sorry, I lost my place.
No, you were thinking about what you should spend your money on, or what you spend your time on.
What you're going to prioritize. What you're going to prioritize. So you betcha. So like you said, you've never played an instrument, because obviously you're a busy man, and if you're going to want to play an instrument, something else is going to have to stop, because you're already too busy. So, and you go, wait, am I going to give up something for something? I don't know. At our age, that starts to get a little bit. Sometimes that gets hard. We don't want to lose anything.
I talked to a gent that spent $1,000 on a golf club because he loves golf, and I went, $1,000 for a golf club, and then I realized I'm looking at a $400 microphone in my face, and I'm looking at a $1,000 mixer over there, and $1,800 computer over there. So. Yeah, you got to prioritize. What do you need to make your job easier? I'm surrounded by computers. I'm surrounded by recording equipment, and I'm very thankful that you took the time to hook up a microphone to your system, because this podcast sounds that much better. One of the things I'm going to bring up at our next meeting with Big Records is that when you go on a podcast, at the very least, if you're going to use your phone as your podcast instrument, at least have a headset microphone for your, if you don't have a Bluetooth, but you've hooked up a microphone to your computer, and it sounds that much better. No echo. It's so nice. So nice talking to you. And that's one of the things that the listener likes about a podcast or a radio show, that it sounds clear. If it sounds good, they're probably going to stop and take a listen to what you're rambling on about. What are you babbling about? And thankfully, they've got CC Brooks in their ears right now. And they've heard a lot of good things, a lot of good ideas, and a lot of thoughts. And somewhere in there, there's a song or two or three. And I know one of the things we talked about last time is you could take one song that you've written in the past and break it apart and maybe make 3 or 4 songs out of it. Boom, boom, boom. Something you've done before, right?
No, they're your songs. They're your songs.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want with them.
Absolutely.
That's the beauty of it.
I like the remixing. I like the turning a country song into a pop song, into a rock song, into a reggae song. You could turn your lyrics, your ideas, your melodies into different types of music. No limits. No limits. But for the most part, your songs are so cool and so melodic and just ready for that backyard party. Have a cool one. Throw something on the barbecue and enjoy yourself listening to some CC Brooks. All right, let's close this one up. Give some shout outs to some people that have helped you out over the last few months putting these together. And are there any shows coming up where they could see CC Brooks, or where should they find those show listings?
Well, like I said, definitely the Big Records crew, Caden Gordon, Mark Rosner, Tim Steinruck, and the whole team, Tara Kay, Dave Blecki. I mean, there's so many of them that are working really hard for me. It's fantastic. And everybody that's downloaded and shared this song already. The sharing thing is something that's hard to get used to, but it's amazing what it can do for a song. So thank you very much for that. You can see me play a few places. I'll be playing at Bad Axe in Nashville, Tennessee on June 5th at 7:00. I've got a singer-songwriter 4-song round there. I'm still applying for more shows when I'm down there in between June 2nd and 12th. So you'll be able to see on the website some of these things. When you're in my position, for instance, if you're doing the Bluebird, you phone in and you try to get a spot, and it happens on a certain day. So I'll keep that on my website, ccbrooks.country. Everybody can find out, or on my Facebook page and Instagram. I'll keep people aware of where I'm playing. And then I'm doing some summer shows with the Chillin' Villain Orchestra, my new big band, and we're going to be up in my neck of the woods at the Energetic County Fair, opening up for Terry Clark, and then again at Fred's Fest, which is a local gentleman doing a beautiful grassroots concert series on the banks of the Peace River, and it's just a great time as well. So 2 great summer festivals this year, and looking forward to doing some more as they come up.
Well, I'll definitely have all the links in the show notes. You got the facebook.com Craig Cameron Brooks, and then your CC Brooks .country is, man, it's updated pretty well. The last thing was May 14th, so that's just a little bit ago. So keep everything updated, and find out more about you. All right, let's close this thing up, and let's give some last words for the people. This could be words to live by, something you heard a long time ago, maybe a mantra you wake up with every morning, or whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. CC Brooks, give the last words for the people.
I guess I'll just go with my latest lyric, and it's go run wild, you ain't late for nothing, you've got nothing but time on your side.
Well, there you have it, party people. CC Brooks, Craig CC Brooks. Find him at ccbrooks.country, and find him everywhere. Find him in Nashville, and find him near Fort St. John and some other places in British Columbia. So excited that you're going to be part of the big event. You got what is it called? Oh, the CMA Fest in Nashville from June 6th to 9th. So you got time. You got time to get to Nashville June 6th through 9th and go see this big performance at the Energetic County Fair 2024. Huh. Oh, wait. Terry Clark performing at music's biggest stage. Huh. And then coming to the Energetic County Fair. Oh, man. So, hey, follow him on Facebook and find out more about what I'm babbling about. Go see a CC Brooks show. And if you can't do that, short of that, go see an independent artist, a local musician. Support your local music community. Yeah, do that. Whenever I'm off on a Saturday night, or whenever I'm off and I know that I'm, not having to get up early in the morning, I will go out into the streets and try to find a local musician to throw some money in their way, whether it be the cover charge or buy a few drinks or throw some money in the hat. Yeah, in their guitar case or their drum case or their piano case, and make sure that they can still keep doing this thing called show, this business called show. Greg C.C. Brooks, you're very thoughtful, man. You made me think of quite a few things, and in turn, I made you think of some things as well. I don't know how that conversation went that way, but I'm so glad that it did. It's nice to learn about people aren't so different. We aren't so different, you and I, Mr. Bond, Mr. Brooks. We aren't so different, you and I. All right, I'm getting silly. I'm getting giddy. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now, if you, my loyal listener, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email keysdan@aol.com. That's it for me. It's keysdan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.